Played a small session earlier that really didn't go well. And the main problem was the internet. Kept getting disconnected and everything like that, but hopefully that won't be the case now. But I immediately lost 4 buy-ins. Playing 6 max. I went back and looked and I was never supposed to fold. So what are you gonna do? And by never supposed to fold, I mean I was 85% plus every time the money went in. Not that I knew that at the time, but definitely felt like I had it. Alright. Ooh, got a 20 an L. Okay, I'd rather be there. Where is that? Let me see. That's the only problem with this background is I can't see the edge of my screen on the playback. Alright, I think that's close. What? 25.50. 10 an L. Yeah, that's a little big. There we go. There's another 50. Where is it? Hello? Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. The fucking internet. What is the internet just fucking going out for? Jesus fucking Christ. Like, and this table had a waiting list, and now there's 3 people gone. I mean, it can't be my shit. It's got to be fucking. It's got to be local internet. an eye on this. I think that's my only thought, is that but no, it can't be my fucking computer. This is ridiculous. See, and now that table's filling back up. Question here is, do I think he's going to fold to a jam? He is in the blind, so he could have anything. He checks. He may fold. Second pair? See, this is the other thing. I'm ending up with this nonsense. Like, if I had the flush, what would be the point of raising that turn? Check raise, they make the ace. Awesome. Only because he can have 7, 8, and 1 pairs. Now this guy leads at me. And the queen comes off on the river. How do you like that? Check raise me, top pair, lead turn, folded. Let's go ahead and raise. Really? Interesting. Just need one of these to turn my session around. An ace or a jack or a 10. Nope. Of course he hits the runners. I gotta get one of these to go my way. He flops it. He just flops it from the fucking blind? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I can't get one of these to go my way. I got the best combo draw in the game. Oh my god. He leads out at the straight. I 3-bet. I re-raise. He 3-bets. And I'm down to 9 outs instead of fucking 20. You gotta be kidding me. Like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, what the fuck happened here? He just flops the joint and I get into this scenario where he can only have, leading out, he can only have 8, 9, or 2 pair. And I'm just down to nothing. Like, what is going on? And I just need one to turn my fucking shit around. And all these fucking tables are even listed wrong. They're listed as 0-0. What the fuck is going on? I mean, granted, that's super aggressive, but over the past, like, 4 days, I haven't ran this bad since I've been back streaming. I don't even get it. Like, players raising out of first, getting called twice, leading at an ace-high flop, then check folding to a bet. Like, on what planet am I supposed to get the fold there on one street? Like, why are people c-betting the worst boards for them? makes almost no sense whatsoever. I mean, these small ISO 3-bets are kind of hilarious. We have to take one off because of the diamond. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Somebody acts like they fucking know what they're doing. It's always ace-king. It's the chances is, does he have a diamond? But if he had a diamond, he would have kept betting on the turn. This is almost a good hand. Except he can have 9-10 and just got there with a straight. I have zero doubt. Pocket sevens felt good. That's an easy mistake to make. To fold those sevens on the c-bet flop. Why is this player always betting? I'm gonna bet the turn. Guy's just always betting for nothing. There's the diamonds. Like, I feel like he's always betting on the draw. I mean, this is just getting disgusting. If this wasn't 10 and L, I would call this. Should have just led the fucking flush. This player bets 3/4 pot. Well, he's super short. We're just going to raise. I mean, if he flopped at 2, then and he's got it better than me, then that's fine. But if he made a full house, I'm going to puke. Jack 10. Nice. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Where was this yesterday? Jesus. Oh, 7 on the riv. Everybody checked the whole way. This player's betting huge. I mean, I can be up against 7-8 or Jack-8, but I think when we river the boat, I think we have to go because there's going to be a lot of flushes in here. The money's already in. This guy should have already called, so if he had a full house, so. It's scary, but these are the weird situations I've been in. Like, nobody's checking Jack-8 3 times, are they? It's just so hidden. Jack, and he slow rolled it. No. I got the side pot. I mean, flopping jacks full is one thing. I love that the other guy took forever to call it with the king high flush. Like, this is why you jam, is because of shit like this. I mean, I could have just called it, but I imagine this guy's going to re-raise anyway. So, what happened that hand? I lost 18. Whatever. Even number and my birth year, 1977. That's how bad I've been running. Not the lowest point today, but definitely not awesome. Hey, what's up, Big Bet? How you doing, my man? What? Tell me what hand calls this flop. Like, am I just getting floated on every possible exchange? Like, what hand calls that flop and then folds to me on the turn? Like... I can't keep calling for gut shots. I can't miss that many. Like, what is these opening ranges? Like, there's so many suckers in here. Like, this is how I'm running bad. Like, I'm seeing all these new players, and they're just opening everything from every position. And it's like, I have to throw away half of my knowledge about ranges. Like, I just basically have to know what beats what and how likely I am to be that. Like, this guy's playing queen jack offsuit out of first and then betting and paying off. Like, what is... And it's weird. It's like things that shouldn't work are working. I mean, this should just be ace, queen, ace, king, right? Ace, king, king, queen. All right. That I can live with. Seeing people bet, like, for no reason for so many days has just been, like, really torturesome. I get called by the button. All right. I mean, this is the guy who's playing everything, so we have to bet. Because, you know, king, jack can run out a straight or a flush. Yeah, somebody just whispered me. Yeah, the session where I lost the 4 buy-ins this morning was lost because the footage got lost. It was just the internet kept cutting out, and then the save file was corrupted, and so I just deleted the partials because you couldn't even watch them. I tried to watch them back on Twitch, and you couldn't even watch them. They just kept cutting out and skipping and all this kind of stuff. So I just deleted them. So there just wasn't much to say. I just kept getting scumped by, like, ridiculous shit. I mean, whatever. Like, it's one of those things where I've been so punched up over the past, like, 10 days. Week of play, but 10 days because my computer was down for 3 days. That, like, it's very hard to, like, trust my normal instincts, which isn't really instincts, it's just knowledge. Because you see shit like this, like people calling with the deuce of clubs in their hand. It's like, what are you doing? Let me go ahead and bet. And there's no more slow play. Like, there's none of that left. I might check raise once with the intent of getting it all in, but slow play has just been a nightmare for the past 3 days. Okay. Like, even a 9 here, I would just lead right out. Five might be good. I mean, if he bets again, it's not. What are you betting for? 10-8. Like, what is the point of that? I mean, unless you have exactly the jack of diamonds, there is no real thought process here, but these are good train wreck spots right here. Paired board, looks like a chop. At least I'm winning some pots now. And anybody who saw yesterday's session, whew. So this was limped and raised. The 8's limped. Check, and this guy jams all in. For 4x pot versus a short stack. I swear to God, if this player wasn't in behind, I could actually call this, but... I mean, this should only be one pair. You know, which means occasionally my queen is good, but, I mean, the straight is good for me, but this player is just always calling on the flop. Like, I guess I should raise. I mean, it's a limped pot, so he can have anything, so... I don't know what you're calling with on this flop. Like, what are you calling? That you won't call that turn. That's like the ideal turn card. 6, 7, you know, all straights. Like, what is the... Really? Really? Okay. I mean, I 3-bet him pre-flop and then bet half pot, and then he check raises me. I mean, with ace-queen, it's like the minimum. Like, he's never doing that with anything, like, super bluffy. Queens versus kings? I mean, come on, man. This player is playing so many pots and nobody's 3-betting, so it's like we just have to keep flopping. Like anything reasonable. And that bet is just garbage. I mean, unless you have exactly ace-10 or pocket jacks, I mean, it's just garbage, but it's going to work because nobody's going to have anything. Like, why did this one bet? Ace-queen. Like, he didn't even bet anything, really. He bet, like, nothing. Small. Nobody's bluffing here in the end. Okay. Hold. mean, the problem is it can be a fucking queen. Okay. Well, at least the ace queens are doing, or ace kings are doing okay. People are betting 80% pot. Like, what is that? Five. That's the worst card. No, it's not the worst card, but it's pretty bad. Worst card would be the, queen of spades or seven of spades. See, like, now this is just nothing. Like, somebody in here should have the straight. But I bet nobody's even going to bet. Quads. Quads versus queen tray. How did he get paid on the river? He bet and got called on the river. Bet raise flop. Check check turn. Bet call river. Like, versus top pair. Like, if the guy had like the king of hearts, I could see it, but like king queen with the king of hearts. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, the main thing is just to focus on every hand as it comes. Maybe I should have blocker bet the river, and then if I get raised, it's only ever something that beats me, because somebody might do that with the four, or like a pair of eights or something. Like, they might think I'm just totally bluffing and just take a free bet. But shouldn't be. The only thing is, it was a limped pot, so there's not a lot of... Maybe I fucked that one up. Maybe I'm supposed to call. Because it's kind of a free shot with king jack. Because I check, and obviously I don't have a queen. So maybe I fucked that one up on the nines. The ace is full of nines board. Am I seriously getting check raised here? So this player calls on the button. Check raise is huge. I mean, am I really folding another one of these? I mean, he's just supposed to have more draws, right? So I guess we just get it in. Two pair, really? Deuce, five, jack, anything? Like, what is that? I mean, come on, man. I raised out of first, and the guy fucking called with the 6-9 suited. And when he check raises, he's just going to have so many more draws, because why do this? Why do this? I can only call you if I have an overpair. He never has a set. That's literally the one combination of hands that I'm behind. And then I have so many fucking outs, and I can't fucking hit it? Really? I mean, versus this player, I guess we have to 3-bet. Everybody just calls. Why am I called twice? Why am I called twice? What is happening here? And then this player's betting. Like, this guy should just have aces, right? And this guy's all in. I mean, what the fuck? Ace, queen, 10, jack. I mean, at least I would have lost it, but what the fuck is going on here? Cold calls 3-bet and 4-bet. And there's just no way to protect my hand. Ace, queen out of first. Raising, getting 3-bet, calling. What the fuck is going on? Club River. Love it. Love everything about it. My session today seemed to have more Sunday players than yesterday did. Some of the players I saw were wild as fuck. It's holiday Monday in the U.S. Yeah. I mean, that's a factor because there's a lot of people in town because of, Easter. I mean, it's definitely a factor here locally. I don't know about globally. I don't know what site you're playing on, but I mean, definitely people have 3-day weekends and there's a lot of drinking and there's a lot of, bullshit partying. People do a lot of dumb shit.
And I have the draft in town.
Yeah, the draft is in town. I mean, I'm seeing all these fucking new players. Versus the most ABC player in the world. Look at this. Second time today I've seen quads. That was a monster one too. This is just ridiculous. Full pot bet on the river after a check down into 4 players. Like, once you start betting the turn, maybe you get called by something. Alright, what happened to this fucking table? Getting 7.5 to 1. It's so brutal. Alright, at least nobody called. I can fold. If somebody else had called, I would have had to call, and Gio would have hit my fucking straight. Well, somebody can have 6-7, hopefully. He's in the blind. He should. God damn it, look at that. Nobody behind calls, and I need one caller so I can call to go for the gut shot. I'm playing an ACR majority USA player base, playing about midnight my time, 4 p.m. in Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, the 4 just comes right off, and I would have gotten it all. Because he's always ace-king. Like, the player's just very ABC. Like, he doesn't realize, like, he should be betting either smaller or larger than that. I mean, there was... I'm going to count it up on the flop. There was 6 players in that pot, and he decided it was a good idea to bet half pot, really? That's what he thought? So now the under-the-gun raiser leads. This player is more prone to call with pairs than flushes or flush draws. Just don't know how big Soj's hand is. I mean, I'm not folding now. If he has queens, I'll puke. Because this just looks like such a bluff. Nice! There we go. Oh. Finally, something working. Oh, thank God for that. Jesus. Like the 5 on the river, he's never going to bet, so we just have to jam. Oh. I used to miss that spot all the time. But, like, if he has aces, he's never folding. If he has ace-queen, he's never folding. And the fact that I'm getting away from ace-queen there just shows how punchy I am. Like, I'm sitting there thinking ace-queen, if I had ace-queen, I wouldn't call, even though I know it should. But, like, after all the bullshit I've seen after the past few days, it's just like, Jesus. But that's a nice hand. This player 3-betting is just getting so ridiculous. Can I hit a 6 one time? I mean, it's just always... He's just pounding the fucking pot. It's just always one pair. Like, I flop a 6 there, I get it all. I really wish it would show where these people are from. Like, it used to do that on WSOP, where it would show where people were from if they were from out of town, because you had to put in your local address. So while you're in town is the only way you could play, but if you were from wherever, it would show. He's got an 80% VPIP. It's got to be like 80 or 90%. He's playing almost every hand. The 9 has to counterfeit me. I mean, he's going to have a king a lot. Yeah, king, queen. But still. lose a table, but I think I need to lock up the double. Really? Yeah, I'm going to get off that table. There's another table that I can get on. That's just starting to fill up. About this table. Nice. Today was a bank holiday in Scotland, which is why I was wondering. Also, I'm out of COVID isolation tomorrow, desperately needing to do a food run. Nice. Was that a lockdown, or were you? Did you have COVID and you were locked down? Because I don't know what it's like on the rest of the world. I mean, this is the player that I'm trying to play against. No slow play. I mean, I know that I lose the action a lot, but I just can't. There's too many bad cards on the turn. And did you see how much he bet? Like, he bet that flop for half pot. Like, I mean, it's most likely just a pure bluff. Like, that's the only amount of slow play I'm doing is just that. Just flush over flush. Yeah, on sites it tells you how I play. So this player opens small. Okay. Yeah, like this is the problem, is the player behind who knows what this guy's doing. GG has a flag next to their avatar, but ACR you have to hover over the nickname. Yeah, on WSOP, you used to be able to hover over the name and see where they were from. Yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, on ACR, it's like there's so many times I'm in hands with guys, and it's like the guy seems like to be aggressive and maybe getting out of line, and then I'm like, is he from Brazil? And I scroll over, and it's like, oh yeah, he is. Okay, I'm all in. It's like, just because, I mean, certain players from certain, it makes sense, right? If certain countries are at certain parts of their poker development, like that was the thing, is that I used to love to play exclusively when I was in Florida. I liked playing on the local schedule that was best because, and this is before I came to Vegas, because like the 4 or 5 o'clock tournaments that would start, like, look at this guy. This guy's just giving it away. Like, this is just hilarious. And my 3-bet was right, but then his 4-bet after this guy calls is fucking ridiculous. So I liked playing on the local, like, the 4 p.m. tournaments when everybody would, or 4 or 5 p.m., you know, just basically when people were getting home from work on the East Coast, and then they started playing, and they just played way too tightly. And that's always been the rap on the East Coast, and it's still true today. You know, but then when you play on the California side, you can just knit up. Like, you know, if you're playing a tournament that started at 5 o'clock in California, you know, between 4 and 5 or whatever, you can just knit up and they're just going to blast off into you, and you just sit there and check call when you have aces. So this player limped. I raised. I'm going to keep betting. I mean, he should just always have a heart draw, but I'm going to check. Wow, 10, really? You did that with a 10? My first hand of the session today was a bomb pot where I flopped a set of 8s. Instant double up against middle set 5-5. Instantly swapped out table. All of my luck used up at once. Check. Look at the 5. People drawing at flushes on paired boards. Like the old school shit, like, would do real well. Oh, you had COVID. Wow. Went to an event around 8 of us got it. That sucks. Very unlucky. 5-day isolation, 2 negative tests, successfully days required in Scotland at the moment. Probably required just for good health, man. So, how was it? Did you get like super fucking sick? I've heard mixed stuff like over the past like about a month. They removed mask mandate in shops today, but I'm still going to be wearing one. No reason not to. Thank you. My favorite people are the ones who go into, because they removed the mask mandate here a little while ago, but all the businesses are still like, you know, per CDC recommendation, either, you know, we require it or we suggest you wear a mask, like they have that sign out front. And it's hilarious how many people, like, you go into any fucking store and every employee, and you look around and there's like 30 fucking people working there. They're all wearing masks. Some of them have the face shield over top of it and this, that, and the other. And then people just walk in and they're just like, oh, that's just for them. And they just walk right through. And it's like, really? I think we just check down here. I'm going to lose, but I don't think there's much chance of a bluff at this point. Yeah. Cold calls the 3-bet. I mean, really the only thing that beats me here is 9s and deuces. So, I don't mind checking that flop, trying to get some action out of King Queen. But he just cold calls. It's hilarious. This is a riot. Watch this, set versus top 2 pair or something. Wow. My man just, like, this is... What the fuck is that? The guy hits an ace on the flop after bluffing and then just goes bananas with it. He thinks he's bluffing and the other guy calls him down with second pair. Like, what the fuck just happened here? This is crazy. Like, this guy... No, he called this bet for no reason. Hits the ace. He bets monstrous on the turn. Gets called. And then just ships the river and then What? I can't get a queen high flop once in my life? Like, what the fuck was that? That's hilarious. Yeah, I just saw in Florida, because of course it's Florida, the Florida Supreme Court judge blocked the mask mandate, even though Florida's rules were based on the CDC's recommendations. This Supreme Court justice just fucking turned it. There's only one site that is UK only. Hang on, give me a second here. Very soft player base, but also very small player base, so hard to get any tables going. Yeah, that's the problem with rooms that are too localized. Like, I can't get a game online here at 2 a.m. Like, it really sucks. Especially when you've had the experience. So, Zizix is kind of fucking whatever here. I'm just going to bet small. Nice. That's a great bet. Why is this guy bluffing? Like, what the fuck? I mean, he had the ace-9 suited, and he just went for the big monster instead of taking his equity. Like, you're not worried about getting blown off of it at all? It's kind of hilarious. I think we'll just check here. It's a nice small bet there. Now, it was pretty chill time. Last time I had it, September 2021, was so much worse. I guess my body knew how to react this time. Yes and no. This variant isn't as immediately violent, although supposedly it has greater long-term effects if you get them. But yeah, September 2021, that would have been, woof. I mean, that would have been Delta, right? Yeah, that would have been the start of the Delta, which was, yikes. Which, crazy that the second variant was worse than the first. It's like usually Black Plague 2.0 isn't worse than the initial incarnation, but Delta absolutely was. My thing is, it's time for the next, or it's coming up on time for the next booster. And last time wasn't bad. I mean, I was sick for like, off and on for like a week. But it wasn't like horrible. It was only like 2 really bad days, like nausea and some light fever. But the one before that, man, when I was in Colorado, holy shit. Like that was the my second shot. And it was 3 weeks later, and it was like, all right, we're cool. And I was going to Colorado. And like
the night before, I told Courtney we might have to cancel the fucking trip because we were getting on a plane, and I was like, I don't want to be sick on a plane. That's like the worst scenario ever. And then I was like, fuck it, and I'm just gonna tough it out. I'm like, because I knew it wasn't gonna put me in the hospital. It wasn't like it was, Rona. Look at this, I got fucking counterfeited. So like, I knew it wasn't gonna fucking kill me. So, how bad could it get? And fuck, was that the wrong thing to think? Like, I got there and was just absolutely shut down. I didn't eat anything for like almost 3 days. Like, just basically some crackers and Gatorade. And I kept going into the shower at the hotel. Thank God we were at a hotel because they never ran out of hot water. I kept going into the bathroom and just blasting the hot water, making the room all steamy because for some reason that helped me feel better. And just spending hours and hours in the fucking shower. And it was like, it was truly the worst feeling. Like, I haven't been that ill, like that actual, like, sick ill. I haven't been that since I was a kid. Like, that physically ill. But it was weird though too, because when it was over, I've had weird side effects of every injection. Like the first one, the weirdest part. Well, I guess not so much the first one. It was a little bit so, but not so much. But the second one, when I got super sick like that, two big things changed. Before that one, if you said you want to go to In-N-Out, like I had In-N-Out twice in my life. And it was only out of necessity. Like, I had no, like, people love In-N-Out and this, that, and the other, and I just didn't get it. Like, I was just like, it's a burger. I don't understand. It's not that great. And then after I got sick the second time, the only thing that I wanted to eat after that second vax was In-N-Out. Like, it was all I could think about. And now it's, like, my favorite fast food ever. It's like, honestly, like, if you ask me what I want, and if I've already decided to have a burger and fries, I just only want fucking In-N-Out. And the other one was water. I used to only drink soda and this water with drink mix, and it was good. It wasn't like, it was just Crystal Light drink mix. It wasn't anything really bad for you, but it's not as great as water. After that, I don't think I even drank soda for like 3 weeks. And I drink a bit more now. But I drink water just all day constantly. Just straight water, filtered from the tap. It's just kind of ridiculous to me how much that changed for me. Because I never in my life was that guy. Like, I never in my life was the guy who was like, oh yeah, give me a glass of water. Like, I needed to have something in it. Prime Delta time. Yeah, man. That would have been, you're lucky you got off on that one. Because that could have been, could have changed it for the rest of your life. One of the guys who follows the stream, he got the Delta variant. Well, they think it was Delta. He was one of the early infected with that. So they're not 100% sure. It was right around the same time you got it. And he lost his sense of taste. And people talk about that like you lose it. You don't lose it. It changes the way things taste. And I was talking to him about it on Twitter. We were messaging, I think. And he was saying that he went to eat one of his favorite things when he thought it was over, right? Like, he thought he was past the sickness and he wanted to eat again. And he said that his favorite little, like, these peanut butter cookies, he went to eat one and he said it tasted like he was chewing on an ashtray, like full of cigarette butts. And he spit it out and he was like, oh, that's weird. And then he started trying to eat anything and it was all that way. And he's just lost so much weight now just because it's like, imagine you have to eat poison. Like, he says it's like he's tasting poison. And he just absolutely can't eat just for physical taste. They gave him a medication that kills your taste buds so he could actually get nutrition, because he's just so, imagine if only thing you could eat is just the most horrific flavor you've ever had. He's like, you can't just fucking eat it. So he was actually like starving. So they gave him this weird medication that supposedly like kills the taste buds in your tongue. So now it tastes like nothing. This is kind of weird to bet right off the bat. I mean, I thought maybe he'd bet again, but honestly, like, I can't really take the initiative here with just ace high. And when he's betting the flop, I mean, I know it's a raised pot and he called it. Oh, where's that 6? He had 6s. That's hilarious. Thought you were gone or never felt so sick. Honestly, like, my dad's a doctor, and after it cleared me, I told him, you know, I was like, I knew for a fact it was the vaccine. And I knew that because it was the vaccine, my body could handle it and it was palatable. I said, but there was about 4 or 5 times throughout that 3 days where I was like, if I was that sick and hospital occupancy wasn't like on the height of my mind, I absolutely would have said, take me to the hospital. And he's like, well, technically, you know, going to the hospital can be a good idea. This sucks because of 9-10. I don't think we get a bet, though. But I told him, I said, I felt like going to the hospital, and, you know, I don't fucking go to the hospital for shit. The check was good, because we had the 6-8 and the 10-jack, so I wasn't getting called there. So the check was a good play. But yeah, there were several times where I was like, I was keeping track on my phone when I had last ate and drank. And, you know, I'm a fat guy, so the eating wasn't so much an issue. You can go fucking like 3 weeks. The average person, an average build, can go like 3 weeks without eating, but you can't go 2 days without fluids. So I was keeping track on my phone how much water I had drank and then how many times I had vomited since. And I was just pounding Gatorade the whole time. Caffeine helped. The thing that broke it was my fever was like super high, and I told Courtney, I was like, this is getting really bad. I had her go get me a 5-hour energy shot, and I just wanted to raise my body temperature and speed up my metabolism, and it worked because I took that. And imagine drinking a 5-hour energy shot, a Diet Pepsi, a 40-ounce Gatorade, and then immediately going to sleep. And that's what happened. It was like, literally, it was like boom, 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 crash. I immediately went to sleep. And then in my sleep, I ended up sweating so much, I turned the fucking sheets yellow. Like, it's really horrible. But I woke up feeling cured, so it was like, you know, it was a smart idea, but I hadn't done it since I was a kid. Where you just smash that much fucking caffeine. Look at this. Oh, and that guy I was telling the story about, he's over a year. That's, you know, the September or October he got it. And it's still that way for him. And he hasn't been sick in forever. And it's just, it's still that way for him that his taste buds are fucked up. I guess it was earlier, because wait a minute, he was talking about... It's been over a year, so whatever that is. Okay. I don't know if anybody heard that. Courtney apparently says she thinks she doesn't just like short people in general.
Like romantically?
Romantically?
Talk to me if you're...
Oh, like they can be your party clown. But, like, you don't want to say hi to them. Got it. That's much better.
No, I'm saying... like, you know, on Hinge I changed it all to females, and I'm open to studs and stuff now, but I just don't want them short.
I got news for you, lady.
And
Most studs are short.
I know.
Most studs are the littlest Napoleon, they're
But even the girly girls, I don't even like all the girly girls.
But they're girls. They're gonna be short. I mean, they're...
No, but that's the thing is, I realize I'm not attracted to that. Even if it's a woman, I want her tall. Not tall, but at least my height.
I mean, that you're above average height for a woman, though.
Listen, I need an above average woman.
No, I didn't say you're above average. I said you're above average
That's what
height.
That's what I heard.
Being above average height does not mean you're an above average woman.
No, what I heard. What I heard.
I'm gonna check this one. I could definitely bet it, but I think we're just something's going on here. I don't know what that is. That was my problem. Man, my man just loves 3-betting and just losing all over the place. And then these half pot bets. He's just gonna get roasted here. Look at this. His half pot bet, all it does is push me out of the pot. Now he got bailed out, right? Queens. Kings. I mean, his bets were not... I mean, I'm not saying Queens is supposed to fold there, but he's just gone to the well so fucking much. Did they seriously get fucking 3-bet here for minimum? And then everybody called. Alright, this could get fun. Now this player bets full pot. Like, this is that same guy. Like, this is nothing. This is never anything. It's just the moron behind that I don't know what he's doing. How do you fold? Look at this. He was on a flush draw for that. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the most ridiculous shit. I don't think I needed it, but I could have cracked aces there. Like, I really don't think I needed it, but, like, this player is just fucking ridiculous. And he's fucking me up because I'm counting for him. I'm accounting for him. Like, this was just ace-king. Like, so I never would have raised, but the other guy being in the pot, I can't just check call, call, call. God damn it. He's fucking everything up. Like, he drew to the flush for pot and pot. Like, that's insanity. I mean, he might be just tilted on his fucking rocker after getting the kings cracked, which would stand to reason. Just because that was... I mean, it was fair. He could have been just beat the whole way. Jamming the river when the queen comes off is super bad, too. Because your opponent's never going to jam sets into you at that point. But they're never going to fold anything to you either. Even though your hand looks like it's most likely to be ace-king. Look at this shit. Really hope he gets some relief at some point. Yeah, don't know. This might just look so wacky that it's whatever. Right? Yeah. I knew he made the straight. Glad I made the full house. This sucks. It's the best, worst hand I'm going to have. That's a pretty good flop. I mean, I really don't know what's going to happen here unless he makes his own full house. I don't think I'm going to get much action. I guess he could have a flush. All right. I think I got the max. Same guy. 10-8. Yeah, I think he's tilted. Opening and calling. I was a monster fucking 3-bet pre-flop, too. Like, I made it fucking 5x, and he still fucking called. I would have played ace-king that way. I would have played aces, kings, queens. Like, I know he doesn't get the concept, but that's exactly what I would have done. This guy's kind of an ace lover, but I have to see that. That's crazy. This guy's just going to lose a ton. He's just in town for something. He's kind of the spot at this point. Yeah. Ace on the turn's pretty good. I think we just check it. I think it's the best way to get action. And I think we bet river. Sometimes we can get called here by a 10. There's just nothing for him to have. Remember when I was a kid going from loving cheese to hating it seemingly overnight, just the taste switch seemingly for no reason. That same thing for everything would just be such a nightmare. Yeah, that's essentially... The way he described it was that it was... Because he was never a smoker, but he dated a girl who was a smoker. And he said that... He told her once that kissing her was like licking an ashtray. And then she argued with him one time, and he was trying to be funny and diffuse the situation. And he's like, I don't need you. And he picks up an ashtray that didn't have any ashes in it, but it had ashes at the bottom. And he licked the ashtray. He was like, same as you. And he says, it tastes exactly like that. Yeah, I said, that's a weird way to have a frame of reference. And he was like, yeah, he's like, it was a funny story. It was just this crazy chick in his 20s and diffused the argument. There's a lot of bluff spots here, although Soj is kind of tilty, so I don't know if he's ever going to back off. He should. All right, I'm just going to check the river. If he has ace-king, it's going to suck, but I think I just won. Yeah, I think he's just so fucking tilted. He's going to have like 10-jack. Yeah, there it is, 10-jack. Look at that. And I was going to bet the river if the ace didn't hit. That's crazy. Yeah, and he's coming out of first with that. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. And then why bet second pair? Like, you want to just check those, man. There's a guy on TikTok, too, who has a similar experience. Let's just protect the hand. How about that? So this got 3-bet from the blinds. Queen's pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and bet. I mean, I should be okay unless he has me, like, just nutted. Could have just checked it. I'm kind of glad I didn't check it, though. I feel like this is just a set all day. Like, does he have just, like, 10s here all day? I mean, he might have done it with ace-queen or king-queen. But I don't know. It seems kind of suicidal optimistic. Because if I have aces, I'm just going to call there. I'm going to bet small. He's going to raise, and I'm going to jam. I mean, he's a good player. He knows that. So, Yeah, I think I got to give him credit for tens. As sick as that is. I'm definitely giving him credit for something that he won't fold, and I think top pair is the minimum, so I think having jacks is kind of the thing. But when you 3-bet and then out of position check raise, it's kind of really... Like, the only reason to check would be to go for the backdoor straight. This traffic's leading. Alright, I'm going to raise. Yeah, none of that donkey shit today, bro. You fucking lead into me. That's the other thing. Like, when you run bad for a while, people start to think you're weak because you're folding for a lot. So they try a bunch of, stupid, crazy-ass moves on you. And it's like, dude, I didn't fucking change the way I play poker. I just fucking am running bad. So, like, you have to, like, knock them back down. It's like the third full house I've flopped today. Got some action. And I think we just call here because we let the flush get there. 10. I lose. 3-4. But the board tripped out, so like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Traffic's raising out of first. Gets called. I 3-bet huge. Really, Little Dragon? I'm gonna check the river here. I don't know why. Also because Little Dragon likes to bluff. I mean, if this player jams, I'm just calling. I'm just not. I mean, sometimes he's going to have a set, but he's going to have a lot of overpairs too. Yeah. What did you have, Little Dragon? 10-10. I missed a bet. No, you know what? The king on the river, it's okay. Because I'm not going to get action. Wow, this board's kind of bad for jacks. Hey, I flopped the straight. I guess we just check here. Sounds like something that would have happened in My Name is Earl if you've ever seen it. Dude, I've seen every episode of My Name is Earl. I've seen literally every episode. To the point where when it came out to binge, I rewatched it. And realized I had seen every fucking episode. I love that show so much. And the actor, I forget his name, but, he was in Clerks and all the Kevin Smith movies. I've always loved him. God damn it, what is his name? I forget his name. But, yeah, I love that. And it's so hilarious because, for me, like, I forget where the show was from, but growing up in Florida, it was like so many of the characters I grew up around. Like the guy, Earl himself, he reminded me of my friend Scott, who was just this simple guy trying to, live his best life. He had been in jail and blah, 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 and that whole thing. And he was the nicest guy on the fucking planet. And, but he had this crazy streak. He loved to go to concerts, and there was a scene in one of them where Earl's wife was telling Earl that the kid might not be his, right? The kid that ends up, being black. And Earl had gone to the AC/DC concert, and she was... this kind of sucks. She was telling him as he walked in, and he just walks in and goes, "Yeah, they were great. They did 3 encores. They started out with Thunderstruck. It was awesome." And he's just, his ears are blown out. He can't hear. When that happened, I really wish, if YouTube had been around at the time, on your phone all the time, I would have shown Scott that scene, because he once went to an AC/DC concert, and he came into the pool hall the next day, and he was like, "Oh, it was amazing. They were fucking blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "It was loud, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was. My ears are still ringing." And he was just yelling because he couldn't hear shit. Well, if you have 5-7, good for you. Set of 4s, 6s and 4s. The fact that there's less combos of 4s, but I'm more likely to get check raised with pocket 4s than 5-7 is an amazing thing to me. It's truly fascinating. Like 5-7's not going to check raise me there often, and if it does, it's going to do it much bigger than that, because it's a guy freaking out about the possible flush cards. But when I see that bet, it's just like, oh, this is 2-pair plus. This is never a straight. You ever run into players that used to be donkeys that have started studying and getting better? I mean, yeah, but when I label somebody a donkey, it just means that they do certain things. I'm not saying they're a bad player. I'm just saying that they have certain tendencies. So, like, when you see me, like, guys here with a fish tag or the donkey tag or the chicken or whatever it is, it doesn't mean I'm trying to insult them. Like, there's a lot of people with fish tags on here because they do one thing specifically. Like, I'm not saying that they're bad players. They just have this one very common, very specific tendency. I'm not going to say what it is.
Categorizing players.
Yeah, it's a way of categorizing players, exactly. So this is kind of awkward now. Yeah, I don't know if he ever had anything here. He made 2-pair on the turn. Yeah, that's the thing with this guy. And that's a donkey play. Like, he bets 2-pair when he should just always be beat. So it's just a guy who just can't check. This was an accidental call, but I actually I'm really grateful I called it now. I think we just check. So this player limped, I raised, and he fucking limp raised. That's fucking hilarious. Limped raised out of first. We're already heads up, man. I think we just bet here. Six makes a lot of 2-pairs, makes a lot of straights. 8-9 greens equity. I'm going to check it. 7 on the river is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Jason Lee, thank you. That's the guy. Did you look that up or did you remember it? Because I can never remember that guy's name. Is he a former pro skater? I didn't know that. I just knew him from movies. Jack 10? I did not know that. That's crazy. Just got to hit one. Ugh. problem is the queen is just so good for the squeeze range. Like if that was jack high, I probably would have raised. That 8 sucks. And because I have the ace of spades in my hand, it's very unlikely for him to have a flush draw, or at least a great flush draw. So I'd rather not have the ace of spades in my hand. He bets half pot. I mean, is this just always... The thing is, though, you don't expect the ace to fold. I don't want to fold this one. Yeah, there's just a lot more straight draws than flush draws, right? That's a tough call to make, man. Like, and I know statistically there's more straight draws than flush draws there, right? Because I have the ace of spades. I'm going to go for the check raise here. I mean, what does he have? Ace 7? King Queen. Wow, that's unlucky. That's super unlucky. Yeah, I don't want you to give out your secret notes. I was just wondering if you've seen players get better over time. Oh, absolutely. There's one guy that I'm thinking of that I used to play with at Venetian who, I mean, he was my ATM. I mean, he was my fucking ATM. This guy paid my rent more times than he's ever known. And like 2 years later, I saw him again, and he won a tournament. And he won the tournament. He told me the story. He said that, you know, because we were talking. And, really? Limp Jam? His name is etched in your brain. Yeah, I saw him. He said that he won a tournament online, and he got super lucky to win it, but he didn't know it at the time. And it was a huge payoff for him. It was, you know, it was like $5,000. And he said that he wanted to take a certain percentage and invest it in his poker training. So somebody said, well, why don't you make it 20%? And he found a coach that would give him like a pretty good rate on training, and he could get like 20 hours of coaching for that, you know, $1,000 or whatever it was. And he got it, and he said that the first thing that they did was review the tournament hand history. And he said that the coach basically told him why every play he made was so wrong. And he got just eviscerated. And he sat there and he kept going, I won the tournament. And he says, yeah, Jamie Gold won tournaments. You know, he's like, he won the biggest tournament that ever was in the World Series, history of the World Series of Poker. It was because the deck smashed him in the face and he sucked out every time he needed to. Look at this garbage. This fucking guy is check raising so fucking much, it's really getting statistically improbable. Like, I don't want to go off with this one, but it's really getting improbable. And it's always from the blinds. Like, that's like 6 in a row. I mean, could he just be running hot? Yeah, but now we're getting into the single digits percentages. Because he has to flop 2-pair plus all 3 of those times. Heads up, he can flop top pair, top kicker with ace queen, but kind of unlikely in that scenario. The lead out. What was with the lead out? Did I just get squeezed between this guy's lead out? Like, should I have raised with the gut shot? I think we can call half pot. Jack's not great. I'm going to check the river. Yeah, he's got a 10. Lots of aces. Just always bluffing, right? Why are you bluffing this board? Same guy. Same guy. King Jack, just no outs. Like, and he didn't go for it on the river. Like, I was sitting there thinking, what if he bets the river? But he's not. And if you think I'm on a flush draw, you have to bet there. You started skating because of him. That's awesome, man. I was always way too big. Even at my smallest, I was always way too bulky to skate. I never had the coordination. Oh, but to finish the story, the guy who invested in the coaching, so the coach basically told him, he's like, everything you're doing is wrong. And he kind of realized it, and he had a breakdown, and he had his biggest score of his poker career, and he absolutely, like, he said he felt lower than he had in his entire life. So he decided to put in 80% into the coaching and stop playing until he felt better about it. And it took him like 3 months of like seriously intense coaching. And he came back to it, and he got much more fundamentally sound. He got amazingly fundamentally sound. I just got drawn at for 80% pot bets the whole way. All right, this guy did this 3 times. I'm calling. Hold. No chop. Damn it. This player's 3-betting a ton. Just don't have ace jack. Pot? Wow. I mean, you could turn kings with a king of diamonds into a bluff, I guess, but it sucks too, because if he has the ace king, With the ace of diamonds, he can do that. Queen in the river is not great, but shouldn't be up against much. Let's try to make it look automatic. Oh, we got more tables. These tables are dying and new tables are starting. It's always weird when that happens. I mean, I guess we get off this one. Two pair. King high. What is that? Sits down first hand, jams. King's nice. Guess we get off this table. Yeah. Easy just call. Jack sucks because it makes a ton of two pairs. But the guy's a fucking moron, so we're just going to call him anyway. Like, I was the initial raiser. Why are you betting twice into me? It's hilarious. It's just 3 overcards and a flush and a paired board, right? My 8s have got to be good. Flop the set. I mean, there's a lot of players here. I'm just going to bet it up. I don't know if Broke Hustler ever keeps himself from doing something dumb. And I think we have to bet big to make it look like bullshit. And there's a ton of bad cards in the turn. A 10, a queen, a 7, a spade, even a 9 really is kind of bad. Hey, appreciate everybody being here. I'm actually feeling a lot better. So if you guys want to ask me questions or talk or like that, it's actually really helping me. I feel really good. So could 4-bet, but don't think I want to. What I want to do is flop another set versus aces. The good part is there aren't a lot of ways I get drawn out on here. And if the turn comes off a club, there's not many ever. So I guess we just call. Well, now I can't get drawn out on. Problem is it kills my action. Hopefully he has 9s. I mean, he should just be pure bluffing, right? Go for it. Thank you. Jack's on the riv. That's awesome. Yes! That's what we're talking about. I'm sitting there thinking the only way that he keeps betting when the queen hits the turn is if he thinks that's less likely that I have a queen. But here's the thing. I can have kings. I can have aces. So what hand is he going to bet? And I'm thinking he's got to have aces to keep betting here because I should have kings a lot, right? But when he jams the river, it's like, oh, that's just pocket jacks all day versus quads. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. 2, 1, 3, 4. Nice. Well, we're going to ditch this fucking table, that's for sure. Holy shit. Is this the table I just came off of? Yeah, it is. Check, fold, check, flush. That was easy. I didn't even have to do anything. He flopped the 6 deuce. He's got 1 out. He didn't hit it. That was awesome. Hey, man, he knows fast play is the new slow play. What about this one? Can I get on here? No, I gotta wait. Oh, I've doubled up on too many tables. Let's see here. What'd you say? Even the best players can become nobodies if they stop studying. Very true. D-Negs. Oh, you're going to say it. You're going to say it about D-Negs. I don't think, before I read the rest of that sentence, I don't think Daniel has changed much one way or the other. He just changed his fundamental basis to be GTO, which is the way that his game should go. Now, purists are sitting there saying, oh, well, you know, he used to be a field player and a read player, but he's realized you just can't win that way. And I think the challenge with Doug Polk really taught him a lot, where he was just like, holy shit, I can't get reads versus this GTO strategy. This is a good baseline. And he started winning tournaments again after that challenge. So what are you going to do? He had fallen behind the curve prior to COVID. Over the lockdown period, has clearly studied a bunch now, is one of the best again. Went 8 years without a tourney win. Right, exactly. And then since then had a bunch of huge scores. Yeah, and like right in a row. And it was all, if you watch those tapes, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable how GTO perfect he is. Like, it's not 100%, but it's pretty damn good. Ooh. I don't mind this. D-Nags was never a nobody, but you get what I mean. Yeah, I get what you mean, man. Here's the thing, too. He went through a period where he was playing more cash games. People don't know this about him. If you were on the Vegas scene, you kind of know it. But, yeah, he was mostly a tournament player, but there was a ton of online tournaments that he played, and no result, really. And it was because he just got swept. I mean, he just got swept under the rug by GTO. This game right now is incredibly different than it was before. Oh, it's ridiculous. This guy's opening way too many hands. I'm going to let this one go. I feel like he's going to get 3-bet way too often. Yeah, the game is incredibly different. I mean, the days of looking at a guy and, you know, seeing the pulse in his neck and all like that. Like, here's the problem. Even Mike Caro's Book of Tells, in there he says eventually people will, there'll be enough, he says, he said hopefully there'll be enough players in the game that these tells won't work anymore. And you'll have to determine what that tell means for this specific player. Because there are some tells, like, and when I started playing live, I had just read his book. And I was still back in Florida, and literally it was like a roadmap. It was like a fucking roadmap. I was like, oh my God, this is cheating. This is fucking cheating. Like, I was just taking everything down, just staring at people. The concept of not looking at your cards until it was your turn was so foreign to people. It was insane. So I would sit there and the cards would get dealt, and I would just look, you know, from one person to the next. And it was amazing to me how much people gave away. The amount of times people eyebrow raised, like they went, ooh. Like the amount of times they did that, it was fucking comical. And it just always fucking helped me. Like, it was insane. But he even said, back in the day, he was like, eventually the game may get popular enough where these tells won't work. Because of the fact that everybody coming from different backgrounds, socioeconomical regions, whatchamacallit, different body types. Women, he said that the tells were thrown way out of whack on. You couldn't use male tells on women because women's brains and their hearts and their blood pressure work differently and all these kind of things. And they just had different tendencies to do different things for different reasons. And he's like, we may see, and I remember he used the example of Chinese. He said, we may see a day where Chinese players are the majority of the game. And he's like, and if that ever happens, we're going to have to revisit these tells because they come from a completely different environment than we do. So even though people are people, their tendencies might not be the same. And he gave a bunch of examples of how certain cultures have more left-handed people and things like that. And I think that day's come to pass. Look at this nonsense. Look at this nonsense. Helmuth clearly also studying a bunch, incredibly how effortlessly he can go through a huge field of vanilla and hold'em tournaments. Yeah, Helmuth is one of the ones that I'm just going to try to coin the term scoreboard pro, because all these guys are saying how awful he is and how he's doing everything wrong and this, that, and the other. Look at the scoreboard, man. Look at the scoreboard. That's all you can do. Nobody's that lucky for that long. Why is it that the same 5 guys make it to the final table of the World Series every year? What are they, the fucking luckiest 5 guys in Vegas? It's a skill game, Joe. So he's obviously doing something, right? But we just don't know exactly what. I mean, he calls it white magic. I call it years of experience. I mean, what can you do? Although on a personal note, he's an asshole. He's every bit the asshole he is on the table. People talk about that Queen 4 hand too, like it was something whatever. It's not. That Queen 4 was, he made the small re-raise to try and steal a pot. That's what he did. Versus a very aggressive player, right? Which is what he should do. He took a spot not based on his hand. He had 1 card for removal, the Queen. But, it wasn't really based on his cards. It was more so based on the situation. Then, when the player did jam on him, he had to sit there and go, you know what? If I fold here, I'm fucked. So he just decided to go with it and take a 60-40, and he was right. It was a 60-40, and it was the way to play to win. So that hand wasn't as crazy as you think. He really was not expecting to get jammed on. I think he thought worst case scenario he was going to get a call. Yeah, I noticed that D-Negs was basically only playing WSOP before COVID, so majority of the year he was clearly playing cash. Oh, yeah. He played some tournaments, like there was some bigger buy-in stuff, but yeah, mostly it's just the WSOP and cash games. I mean, and I think the greatest player of all time, has the fewest tournament titles, and that's Chip Reese. I mean, the man won more money versus the best players in the world for decades. Look at this, quad sevens. I've seen quads 4 times today. In this 2 hours. Like traffic raised small out of first. We're just going to take this down. I don't think I'm folding here because I have 2 overs and a flush draw. And this is usually just a bluff. Wow, he actually flopped it. Can I hit it, please? Boom. I mean, if you're going to raise and call a 3-bet out of first with king 9 suited, you deserve to get fucking cracked. Or out of third. Look at me, he's going to tilt off his rocker now. The fuck is this? 25? Straight in? Just 50 blinds? Just jam? He might just be wanting to go broke. Look at this. This guy's all in now every hand. You think getting sucked out like that is a big deal? You were 70%, bro. That's ace-queen versus ace-king pre-flop. And a queen hits. It wasn't a 60-40, it was a 70-30 with the 9-9 versus the queen 4. That's the other thing, too, when you talk about the Hellmuth and Negreanu comparisons. You know, Negreanu playing cash games the majority of the year, then showing up at the WSOP to do tournaments. You know, it's not going to work much anymore because the game's changed so much fundamentally, you know, from that perspective. You know what I mean? From the tournament versus cash game perspective. But, all things considered, you know, Hellmuth plays 300 tournaments a year live. So you're talking about the comparison of a guy who only plays cash versus a guy who only plays tournaments. In the tournament field, you got to give it to the other guy. Well, that ace kind of sucks. I think we bet here just in case he has like jacks or something. Yeah. Location cannot be verified. Oh, look at this. I've lost the location verification. So I got to log out and log back in. Look at this shit. Yeah. I got to log out and log back in. That's okay. I'll get my seats back. All right. Let me close this. All right. I mean, that's just WSOP. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. All right. You know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom, too. System verifying. Successfully confirmed your location. I just had to log out, log back in. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to take a leak, grab some ice, and we'll get back in these games in 1 second. I'll come right back. All that was muted. Sorry. Maybe local internet was fucked up. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely think it's something going on. But I was able to get back on a bunch of tables right away, so that's okay. No, we got to wait 4 minutes for this one. That's Buru. Let's just call. And let's just check. And let's just fold. Yeah, Buru I gotta wait on. Because that one I took too much. I just don't want double stacks on any of these tables. Look at this. Yeah, aces go right down. But I was saying I think it's local internet because there's a lot of players that I saw when the lobby came back up. All these tables were at like 4 or 5 players. And then when I clicked on them and sat down, they were all 7 or 8 players. And I was able to get back on 5 tables right away. And I think that's what happened, is that everybody lost their location. Which, if local internet's a problem... Alright, that king's not great, but we're going to keep betting. That 9's the worst card. We're just going to check and lose now. King 9? Wow. I thought I might have lost to Jack 8 or something like that, but the running 2 pair is hilarious. It's the only scenario where I might actually win if I bet again. That's really funny. Wall Street. Yeah, so I used that ambisol stuff on my tongue, and I got this one little spot that I bit. So it's like, if my voice sounds a lot deeper or my accent comes out, then you know that's why. It's because my tongue is half dead. If you want to make somebody sound like they have parents from upstate New York and Philadelphia, and they were raised in Florida, just make their tongue numb. That'll do it. Every time I've gone to the dentist and come out of it and like been like, had the Novocaine or whatever, I sound exactly like I did when I was growing up before I was conscious of my accent. Where it was just like, blah, 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 sound like a fucking Mameluke. Not that there's anything, wrong with sounding that way, but it just always made me feel like I sounded stupid, It still happens when I get angry or, start yelling at somebody or whatever like that. I'll still, the accent will still come out. I'm not going to wait. Fuck that. Oh, beat by the smallest of margins. Jack 9 beat by Jack 10. Kicker plays. I may have used way too much of the ambisol. My whole tongue's numb. Ooh. Sure. This is kind of weird. Like, I guess just 5-7, but I have 2 5s. I'm not going to hero it. Not with a player behind. It's fine. Lead out. Really? The fuck are you betting the turn with? 10-4. Just nothing. Just jam in on him if you have queens. You just can't wait to fucking get drawn out on. Pretty good. He could have a flush for sure, but I'm not sure here. 3-5. That's funny. He raised me with the 3-5 offsuit on the button because I posted in and I hit trips and he fucking flopped the full. Well, I guess we just bet here. There's just no way to win anything there. Because the flush draw is going to call. Overcards are going to call. That's a big bet. I'm going to let it go. Little over half pot. I mean, my 9 could be good here a lot. Jack 7? Alright. Did he fucking raise Jack 7? No. He limp called with it. Getting 3-bet by Wall Street. Four bet's good. Let's see what happens when I limp. I'm getting all my best hands in the worst positions.
Want to stream, but at the same time, I just want to be close to you, so I'm just gonna sit in here and try to be quiet.
Okay. I mean, I shouldn't have a lot of jacks. The queen may have really helped him, but I think all we can do is check call. Yep. 7-3. That's why you limp, is to instigate that kind of bullshit. Like, I'm trying to figure out the method for like counteracting playing those hands, because there's so much 3-betting going on because of this nonsense. Yeah, why not? Cool, hold. Hold. He was a short stack. I'm supposed to call. Thank you. That's why you don't put just 60 blinds on the table, bro. 9s is like the line. Actually, 8s is like the line. Okay, we're just going to 3-bet our short stack friend here, lower the SPR, and never fold to him. He just calls. We're never folding. Go ahead. You have 17 cents. Ooh, I should think about it. He hit the jack. Look at this. Let's just jam it pre-flop. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Oh, there's Buru. That's fucking a riot. And the queen jack open and then not jam. That wasn't too bad. It only took like 10 minutes to get back on. Yeah, about 10 minutes to get the full count. Appreciate all you guys here. I know it's Monday, not a lot of people doing much. Oh yeah, but I mean, a lot of poker players don't play Monday.
Oh. Why is that? Like just after
They
Sunday,
just played Sunday, yeah. Which I always went the other way when I was not needing to play constantly. I wouldn't play on Sundays because it was just such a shit show. It still is, but
Yeah, I'm like,
I mean, I got everything I wanted yesterday except for the money. I just lost so much. Like, did you catch this with Broke Hustler here? He raised and I called it, and then I bet this flop after he checked. It's because of that other hand. He's trying to tighten up against me now after this King Jack. It's because he just knows that I'm not going to fold, or he knows that, so he's not going to try to bluff me right now. But that means that on the flip side of it, it means that I can bluff the shit out of him. I mean, the 7 was probably good, but he probably had way more equity than he thought. Like, that's one spot where he can go as far as folding pocket 9s or 10s there, just like thinking that I just always have the ace. That's why that 7 bet is pretty strong with the 7-5, no spade. Not like I need the 7, but it just takes away one more combination of sets or 2 pairs. So, kind of just going to bet it all when he checks to me. And then when he bets, I'm going to have stronger hands in position. So like that kind of makes this a little different. The small re-raises, just all the small re-raises. Like, this is not a thing. Like, people just don't know how to re-raise. 5-way pot. Doesn't look great for ace king there. Of course it's going to be this donkey. Oh, that's the worst run out for a bluff. Wow. You play great, man. Mondays are my favorite day. People chasing Sunday losses. Yeah, true. Oh, nice. That'll be lovely. Ace 10.
Pressure to me and an anxiety thing. It's been like this since last night. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You think it's a strain of weed, yeah?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
I really don't know. I'm gonna sit outside and cry it out until I figure it out.
Okay. Cool. Let's go to the park.
Right? Oh, my stars. Jesus.
What is that?
Huh?
I didn't hear what the bag on your foot. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, this table is the action, man. Like 4 people calling every fucking time. This fucking short stack. Why would you bet into that, Soj? It's just the worst fucking bet. He's just getting called. Look at this fucking turn. I mean, you could say I'm supposed to fucking call it, but honestly, I'm just not running good enough. I mean, how do you not bet the fucking river? Yeah, we know he's going to be all in. King me. Really? This guy just gets down to $5 and I just double him up every fucking time. Last time I had him dominated and he sucked out. This time he had me dominated and I didn't suck out. See, the problem is the queen. The king-queen plays this exact way. So I think he might have gotten the confidence card. Man, I don't know if he's just ever going bet, but it's whatever. Really? This is the guy who had the other full house against me. I think Jack 10's the only one that I beat. Yeah, I think we jammed because of that. Flopped another full. Yeah, he fucking folded. That's crazy. I mean, granted, I'm betting like a fucking maniac. The ace on the turn. Awesome. I'm just going to click it back. If he has ace queen, it's just too bad. Ace king. Nice. That's why you click back, is just to get him committed. I'm not saying it would work on, you know, any stake, but should work there quite a lot. Broke Hustler's going to 3-bet if I call and this guy calls. He might still do it. Yeah. Well, I guess he had just garbage. But I don't need to be playing all those. This guy finally went out. Ace queen versus 6-5, flop straight. Not even gonna bother. Limp post 3x. So I'm going to play this ace jack intentionally wrong. Post in first. I mean, believe it or not, the limping's working. I'm getting to flops. I mean, I was opening all those, and I know I should. Like, the fact that it's fucking getting me to flops without getting 3-bet. If he has king, queen, I'll puke. Nine, 7. He made the fucking straight. I mean, what the fuck? Like, I'm limping and these small raises are coming and I can fade it. I don't have to sit there and fade a fucking 3-bet. It's pretty awesome. I love how the guy has to hit it right on the fucking turn. So he can just sit there and call like a fucking idiot. Like, if he rivers it, it's a whole different story. Plus, I look like I'm full of shit. Versus, like, king 10 and king jack. Could have bet this, but... I thought about squeezing this one, but honestly, I don't think we're going to see enough folds here. Somebody should have a fucking ace. I mean, you overbet the pot, really? But it's into fucking 5 players. I mean, you can't. You're supposed to have something monstrous like a set of 6s here. Trying to get heroed. Or like ace 6. Ace 6 can do that. All day. This table's playing so weird. It's a good flop, though. I mean, he can have a lot of ace queens and ace kings. So, we just hope he doesn't have queens, I guess. I mean, if you have ace king, this is kind of a hard one. I am representing a deuce. King, queen. That's what I'm up against, folks. What am I calling you with on this flop? What's the mental gymnastics that this guy's doing where he thinks he's heroing me on that board? That's just goes to show you that's why you bet big, is because people don't fold when they improve on the river. Like, they just don't. Like, the amount of times I'll bet right at a set and have somebody call me down with a flush draw and 2 overs and they make the ace on the river and they just can't fold. It's like, really? You think I'm going that crazy with ace 10 on 10-7-4? I mean, traffic's a thinking player, so this is kind of rough. Look at this shit. I mean, he could have 2 pair. He could have had the straight. But, like, this donkey move, like, he keeps trying this on me. It's not gonna work. Like, I'm betting small. On this flop, the theory of why you're betting small is because you are strong. So you're going to call that and then lead the turn. Betting into 2 players here. I'm hoping he just has a set. Aces, that's great. Great trap, bro. Hold. Sick trap. It's funny because in that one, I'm supposed to have aces and he's supposed to have a set. So when I have top set, it's just a fucking monster.
That's hilarious. Well played, bro. This guy does everything wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. He's getting busted when he 3-bets because he doesn't 3-bet enough. But raising on that flop, then getting 3-bet, and then jamming. What do you think I'm raising out of first? Like, you just think I'm just going to roll over kings there, just ever? Like, when I call you, you think I'm ever going to roll over kings? Like, you're supposed to have all the sets. What the fuck are you doing?
Even number, 2188. So nobody bets an 8. So this is the kind of action you want. Oh, look at that straight. He doesn't have anything to keep betting, though. He might. I mean, it's possible, but it's really not very probable. There's not a lot of combos of ace-8. Question is, can I raise? I think I can. I'm hoping he just hit the ace on the end. I don't think he ever had anything, honestly. Like, that's the way that betting was going to go on that hand, no matter what happened. The only thing that's different is that when the 6 hits the turn, I don't have to set up the move there. But there's nothing there. Like, he may have had a gut shot. Like, he may have paired the 6. Like, he might have had, like, 6-7 or something. And paired the 6. Look at this turn. The worst turn card in the history of turn cards. River's not my favorite either. Look at this shit. Let's gamble. Flopped it. Spade. And the lead out's hilarious. Because, I mean, granted, I would have lost to a 10, but the lead out is fucking hilarious. Like, why are you doing that? I might win here. God damn it. Mm-hmm. No. Thought I folded. Eh. What's this table? How did this table die? Amazing how these players exist. At 25-50, they would have better odds playing scratch cards, right? I really want to call that, but I won't. Just because this player is raising out of first, and it's just far too likely to get 4-bet. Ace queen, like, look at this shit. Ace queen suited. I mean, come on, man. What the fuck is that? Ace queen suited. In second position. This player's short. He may just go crazy. No? Like,
Feel better.
yeah. A little fresh air help.
Yeah, no. Hold on.
That'll fix some stuff. Yeah, that ace queen hand. Check this out. He raises, it gets 3-bet. He 4-bets, jam, call off versus queens. That's so bad. And the fact that that play did it to him when he's coming out of second, like, he's never going to jam those queens on me. I really don't think. Like, that's crazy. Oh, I didn't mean to fold that. That's exactly the kind of hand you want here. Oh well. Might really be something too limping here. Like, I mean, if we're playing against players who are limping, we might as well. It's not the worst flop. Hustler couldn't have anything, though. Yeah, this is kind of weird. I think if everybody folds, I think I can call. Ooh. I That's kind of bad. When he calls, that's kind of really bad. Like that. Should be just, big pairs. Some sets. Don't run out the 5. Hopefully he's got a set of 7s. Super unlikely, though. I probably folded the loser. Or folded the winner. Versus this player? Oh my god. Really? Ace 3. The other guy has ace 3 and calls that. Oh. And if I hit that river, I'm going to bet and get called. That's the funny part. It wasn't even like the gut shot or what. He didn't even have backdoor spades. He's bottom second pair. Like, you see, like, why when he calls, I can't call, because his hand is supposed to denote some kind of strength. But it's just fucking ridiculous. You heard the drama surrounding Ali Izmirovic that came out overnight? No, what was it? Isn't he like a cheater? I know I've heard that name. Isn't he like a guy who got caught multi-accounting years ago? Which isn't, it's cheating, but it's not like he was super using. But playing high stakes and nobody knows who you are, it's like if Phil Ivey showed up at the table wearing, a fucking mascot outfit and nobody knew he was fucking Phil Ivey. Not that this guy was any Phil Ivey, but... I think we just bet small here. Set up the river. It's super hard because I'm basically representing a flush or nothing. Nice. That's a great bluff. Is the check on the flop that did it, because an ace doesn't play that way. An ace bets flop, checks turn, bets river.
What? Say it again?
An ace bets flop, checks turn, bets river. But the flopped flush versus a limped player when I raised would check flop, bet turn small, bet river big, trying to get value from an ace.
It really sounds like you're speaking a foreign language. Someone who doesn't know poker would be like, huh?
There's this guy, Greg Goes All In. He actually makes content that you might actually like. And he's this really funny guy. And he had this one video that's like 2 minutes long. And it's like, what playing poker sounds like to people who don't play poker. And it's like, he goes, okay, so we rizzle the fizz and nizzle, and then the flibbity flobbity comes, and then the shoopity bloop comes, and we got the backdoor figanada, and he just keeps going and going, and it's like two guys talking, and he's talking to himself. He's like, so what happened? Oh, he got shot at the smaggle daggle. he's like, oh, what an Aruba. It's just like everything was just nonsense, but it's true when you think about it. It's
so
like
true, because that triggered me. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I know what it was because of listening to you for the past years.
Yeah.
but the way you said that one so fast kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, wait a minute, you did what?
Well, it's funny because now, because of GTO and all that, all these terms are so fucking common that there's so much, there's shorthand for everything.
Yeah.
Like, it used to just be like the shorthand for, you know, tens plus or whatever. People knew you meant pairs, tens or higher. Now it's like there's a shorthand for everything. 3-bet, like that used to be called a re-raise. Ali amongst those banned multi-accounts and RTA. Okay, yeah. He's known for angle peak when playing live, caught multiple times in the SRS in Cyprus just last week. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't he the guy who made the accidental raise several times with the nuts? And he tried to say, oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, I have to raise? Oh, okay. Well, like acting like he didn't know what the action was. There was a great, if it's the same guy that I'm thinking of, then there's a great video where he's on the final table and the action gets stopped and it's this whole thing. I think I have to call her. The action gets stopped and it's this whole thing. The tournament director comes over and he's like, just so you know, he's done this 3 times in this tournament, this accidental raise bullshit. And he's had the nuts every fucking time. He's like, just so you know. And this is the floor man is telling this other player in the middle of the thing. And the guy's got the conceivable nuts, but he's up against quads. So he's got the top full. And he goes, no, I get it. And the floor man actually goes, wait a second. He's had the literal nuts every time he's done this. The best hand possible each and every single time. So you know. And we've given him warnings about this, and he's getting a penalty no matter what his hand is right now. But just so you know. And he goes, okay. And then he still goes all in. The guy calls me as the quads, and they're like, okay, you have a fucking penalty. And he's like, if you do it again, we're going to fucking throw you off the tour. But they can't throw him off in the middle of the tournament because then he has, stake equity. So they literally can't. He would win in court in just like a second. If that is the same guy. Angle shooters, it's like you never just want to act too quickly. Like, it's amazing to me how many times I've seen players, and yeah, I get it, you're playing for hours and hours, and you make mistakes, but the amount of times where people are like, obviously playing an angle, and the pro doesn't catch it because they think everybody's honorable. It's like, fuck you, they are not. I had too many honorable poker players try to rob me in the fucking garage. Multi-accounting is odd because some sites have implemented mandatory username changes every 3 to 6 months. Yeah, that's true. WSOP had one about 2 years ago, which is kind of weird. Like, why make it mandatory? Which is actually why someone would multi-account. Yeah. Top pair called me. That's not a bad card. Ten's not great. It's just such a bad bluff card. So when he bets, he's just never bluffing. So there's no hero here. Nice. Hold. Sets of nines, cracking aces all over the place today. It's the second time at least. Might be the third. I don't mind that. I mind that card, though. Check back. I mean, there's just no fold there. This player should just always have a fucking king. I mean, he never bets his own hands either, so... Oh, wow. Full house and he underbet it like that? Jesus. He could have gotten so much more. This guy's got to have a king. Yeah. Can't remember reading about that. Can't remember, but if it was Ali, I wouldn't surprise me. No, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was on the EPT. And he's an Indian guy. I forget his name, but it's all over YouTube. You can just look it up. You know, Indian guy fakes, you know, angle shoot at final table, and it'll come right up. All right. The fact that Wall Street folded is kind of hilarious. Sometimes I'm up against a set here. It's kind of a great play with a set. I mean, he could just have a pair, right? I don't know if he can raise me unless he's got a set. Yeah, that's pretty smart. Pretty smart. He's also the kind of guy that would have 2 pair in this situation. So, it's kind of gross. I think we'll just give it up. He could have had aces, I guess, but I don't think that's likely. I think he's more likely to have 10s, believe it or not. Checking and playing that way. So, I think it's fine. The 10 on the river is bad. I might still win here. Yeah. There was huge drama with Mike Postle a couple years back. Yeah, more recently, Julio Sodaro at Hustlers Casino. What was he doing? Both cash games, though. Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Like, if you do it in tournaments, like, that's what always got me is, like, anytime people are cheating in fucking tournaments, it's like, you're out of your fucking mind because
to do well in a tournament, you have to have so much go right anyway that cheating might not help you. Like, even seeing the other players' cards, there's so many situations where you're going to be 70-30s for the tournament buy-in. But, you know, if you do it cash, over and over, you could do it. It's so funny, though, that Mike Postle stuff, when they were at the height of talking about him like he was just the greatest player that ever fucking lived, I remember telling somebody, this guy's fucking doing something because this is just ridiculous. It was the hand where both players had ace-king and he had, I think, he had something, and he decided, it was like 4-deuce, and he decided to go all in with it and squeeze against two players. And one of the players, I think, was Chris Moneymaker, which is like, you're not pulling those moves on Chris Moneymaker because the consensus is that he's not versed enough to see it unless he's just absolutely brain, fucking playing over the top of his head. He's more basic than that. But it just worked for the guy because it was just such a perfect scenario. Like, but Moneymaker still almost called, I remember. Like, not to say Moneymaker isn't a great player, he's come a long way. But he's never going to get the respect of, if somebody has to be a really good player to make a fold, you want to try this move on Chris Moneymaker. It's just not the way it's going to work. Like, the kind of folds that Garrett will make is far different than the folds a guy like Moneymaker is going to make. I mean, in a limped pot, this isn't awesome, but he did raise small, so I mean, is it just basically sets or nothing? I think we jam here, honestly, because he can have a lot of ace-10s and king-10s, and I've barreled against Street before, and I don't know if he has the discipline to just check call down with a set. So these are tough for me because I had to study this spot a lot. That's really tough. Like, he did not have a draw. If he had had a draw, I would have found out about it way earlier. Those spots are really tough for me. What the fuck is that? Like, just to not know when to jam aces. Plus, I 3-bet pre-flop, and it's just like, I mean, I know I'm getting the max there, but, and if he donks the river, I'm just fucked, so it's kind of brutal to keep betting the turn. Look at this, we all chop. I mean, he opens super small. Unless he hit that queen, I think I'm okay here. Yeah. It's just too obvious. Like, he didn't open big enough. Like, people who vary their raise sizes, like, I'm starting to put in some limps, but I'm not changing my open size. Like, my open size is 3/4 no matter what. But people who change their raise sizes, it's just like, he's leaving himself room for bluffs and stuff, and it's just stupid. I mean, we have to call this. I think we just bet here. We can even bet super small. Just because of the strength of our range. Sadilla was looking at people's cards and hiding chips. Hiding chips is a big deal because, you know, not knowing how many chips a guy has, it really limits what you can do. bowling alleys open upstairs? I think isn't it Kill the Keg Monday? Oh. It literally sounds like bowling going on up there. It's fucking ridiculous. Like I'm waiting to hear the.
Like it makes me miss being in a bowling alley. Like, I kind of want to hear. Like I kind of want to go. The sound of a bowling alley, the roar and rumble of it is such a vibe. But you don't necessarily want to hear it over your head.
Right, in an apartment complex.
Right. Oh, yes. I love that I just realized. I was like, oh my gosh, my munchies are setting in.
Mm.
And then I remembered I have a popsicle over here.
The amount of popsicles that get forgotten about in this household. Like if there's any kind of food that denotes urgency, like not even ice cream. Ice cream's in a bowl. It's not gonna like make a mess. It's got more time. But a literal popsicle, you just put it down.
Well, because I like them to soften.
I just want you to start getting a plate with them.
So I don't open the bag. And
Oh, so that's why I get these retarded-looking popsicles that look like their mother smoked when she...
Yeah, because then they melt.
And it's just a bag of juice. And then it's just a bag of juice with a stick in the middle, by the way. You can't really keep it to the end once it melts. I'm just like, well, I guess you forgot about this one. I mean, but looking at people's cards, oh, I remember hearing about that guy. He was like leaning back and like really trying to look and all like that. Yeah, I remember seeing some replay of that. I know who you're talking about now. The hiding chips thing is ridiculous. I remember one time I was playing, this is years ago, and I've always had the same philosophy, and I basically got it from, God, who told me about that? Some pro I knew when I was a dealer, and I told him a story where I could see this dude's cards, and I told the guy, and then I could still see him, like, after that. I think we need to bet here just to not get bluffed on the river. Yeah. Plus we take it down when he doesn't have a queen. But, and I remember telling him this story, and he gave me the same philosophy that I have now, but I actually say it if I'm at the table, which is like, he said something like, you tell the guy once. He's like, you tell him once that you can see his cards, and then what usually happens, and this is the funny part, if somebody told me they could see my cards, hey man, be careful, I would be like, oh, thanks man, holy shit, like that. But what usually happens is people have the same reaction. This is weird because Broke is betting bullshit and this idiot's on the draw, but I'm out of position, so I can't do anything. But what usually happens, it's the same reaction people have when you tell them to turn their music down. Like, it's 1 a.m. on a Tuesday and somebody's blasting fucking, AC/DC. And you go up there and you go, hey, man, it's kind of loud or whatever like that. Would you mind turning it down a little? Not off, just turn it down a little. And the guy just, fuck you. That's usually the reaction you get, It's basically the same reaction you get when you're like, hey man, be careful, I can see your cards. Like, they think I'm cheating, and it's just like, you're showing them to me, and I'm trying not to look, but you just showed it to me. And I remember this one old man, I was at Harrah's, and in the fishbowl back in the day, and I was in the 7th seat and he was in the 6th, and that's pretty much where your cards are going to get seen, either that or the 3 and 4, if you're in the 4 and the guys, or if you're in the 3 and the guys in the 4. So I saw his cards like the first hand I sat down, and I wasn't even in the pot. And I was like, hey man, you better be careful. I can see your cards over there. And he's like, what the fuck are you looking for? And I'm like, dude, I'm not looking at anything, but if you show me your cards and I happen to see them while I'm in a hand, I'm not going to change my decisions because now I have extra information. I'm going to use it against you. Well, fuck you. And, and I was like, I looked at the dealer, and the dealer just goes, hey man, it's up to him to protect his hand. And I said, okay. And then we got into a big pot, and he was straight up bluffing, and I had seen his cards. And I just called down and all like that.
And he ended up jamming the river, and I called him with like fourth pair. And he was like, how do you make that call? And I told him, I'm like, I saw your cards. I'm like, I told you I was going to fucking do that. I was like, if you show them to me, I'm absolutely going to use the information you give me. It's not even cheating. You showed me. He tried to call the fucking floor and get the dealer involved and this, that, and the other. And the dealer goes, first of all, he could be lying. He's like, he may have just owned you, and he could just totally be lying about seeing your cards. And he's like, second of all, he didn't do anything wrong if he saw your cards. You fucking showed them to him. And so he ended up leaving in a huff. But the whole table was just dying fucking laughing. Because I said it, I didn't whisper it to him. I said it really loud. I was like, dude, I can see your cards, please. I was like, I don't want to cheat, but if you're going to make me. And I remember the dealer at that time saying, no, that's not cheating. And he said, it's your job to protect your hand. It's like if a dealer mucks your hand. It's like, that's your fucking fault, man. Don't release your fucking cards. I'm going to get off this table. I don't want to play these players shorthanded. This is another 50, but I expect this other table to die, so... I mean... Kings, that sucks. It's just such a good squeeze spot. I mean, I know it's 10 and L, but... people still squeeze, and queens is my minimum to do that. That kind of sucks, though. Ah, he did have the jack.
always the flush. Yeah. Knew I was good on the flop. He doesn't bet the fucking river like a fucking loser. This guy had queen 8. Dealer should step in if the player's hiding chips. Oh, absolutely. I used to do that all the time. Tell players pull their chips out front. Yeah, this table's done. God damn it. Stop doing that. When will they ever make the sizes match on WSOP? Like, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I can't stand up to a 3-bet, but I absolutely can't fold at this price. Look at this shit. Well, luckily, I didn't get an in-betweener. I mean, the jack's okay. It's not great. I mean, this guy is so fishy, though. Nah, I'm not going to bother. There's too many players behind. I mean, he's just so super fishy. Alright, fuck this table. I can't believe all those tables died that quick. That's funny. I'm just going to call here. We'll play it soft. And we're going to lead this one. Take longer, bro. Just trying to look like I'm full of crap here. Why didn't I see bet this one? Of course he's calling. Nice. 8-10. Optimistic.
funny because you can always tell who was a dealer in tournament poker because of the way the chips end up. Like, because I always put my big chips either on top or right out front. Just because you don't want to hear it from the fucking dealer every fucking time. But all day long in these local tournaments, you just hear people, "Sir, can you pull your big chips out front, sir? Sir?" It's just like, dude. I actually had one guy I was in a pot with. This is a couple months ago when I was playing the South Point tournament. And he made some bet and all like that. And I looked over and I was just like, looking at his chips. I'm like, "How many chips do you have?" And he didn't want to say anything. And I was just like, "Dealer, can you count down his stack?" And he like tried to stop the dealer. And he's like, "You can't do that." And I'm like, "I have a right to know how many chips you have." He's like, "It's your responsibility to know." I'm like, "I'm asking. I'm allowed to fucking know." And I was like, "How do I know you don't have 3 fucking blue chips, which are the big ones over there, behind that stack?" Turns out he had 4 behind the stack. And the dealer was like, he literally picked up the chips and he like put them in his face and he like threw them in front. And he's like, "He's got this much." I'm like, "Okay, I'm all in." And then the guy just lost his fucking mind and called with nothing. And I literally was doing it for information, like because I didn't know how many chips he had. But if he had had less, I was gonna just call. But since he had so much, I was like, we can just get it in right now, and he's gonna think this is garbage. But he literally was trying to actively hide the stack, which was kind of hilarious. He tried to stop the dealer. "Can't count my chips in the middle of the hand." Where the fuck did you hear that? I remember the dealer like chuckled at him and he like laughed at him. He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Ooh. There's a lot of ranch on that chip.
That Cool Ranch wasn't so cool.
It got me here and here, you know? My throat.
Spicy.
No. It wasn't spicy. Tangy. Epitome of tang. In a good way, tang though.
Boo.
Bad tang is not.
Bad time's bad time.
Ooh, I want to watch that movie.
Pootie Tang?
Huh?
Pootie Tang?
Bad Times at the El Royale.
Is it Bad Times at the El Royale?
Huh?
Is it Bad Time at the El Royale?
Maybe Bad Time or Times. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's either of those, I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like a bad night at the El Royale or something.
Let's see.
One night. One night at the El Royale.
No, I don't think so. Bad Times at the El Royale.
Is it really? Huh.
I remember seeing that movie in California.
I never saw it.
We saw it on the way back. On the way to Mexico. Me and my mom and Jess.
Am I seriously getting raised here? That's a big raise, too. That's kind of tough. I mean, why would you raise so much? With like Queen Jack or something? Jack 9? I think I gotta get it in. Sometimes he has a set here, but I think I gotta get it in. Ace King and you limped it? Wow. That's hilarious. That's not a trap, it's just wrong. Min raised it, went to the flop 5 ways, and then check raised, committed himself with top pair. What the fuck was that?
I feel like a chip bandit.
That's weird.
kid tired right now. I don't even know exactly what that means, but
I was gonna say neither do
I think it means that I'm fighting it.
I. Oh,
Almost forgot my tweets.
can you turn down the air a little bit, babe?
Uh-huh.
Got warm in here.
We're gonna have to get you some lighter hoodies for.
What about that? The temperature went up in here.
Because that, what am I looking for? Ow! Wow!
Careful, we just put that wall in.
No, it was the light switch, bitch.
Okay, well that's not new either. So what's your defense?
I just
What did you do?
accurately pinpoint where it was.
Did you just smack your hand into the wall?
No, I stuck my finger into the light switch.
Ugh.
Thank you very much.
This can just be like Queens or something. Nines. This is the worst way to play it.
I feel like Ashley's gonna tell me she's pregnant soon.
Why do you think that?
Well, I keep having this urge to sing Itsy Bitsy Spider, and then her image pops into my head.
This sucks because he's gonna have all flushes, but I can't fucking fold when he bets. Unless he just bets full pot, then I can. I mean, it's only because it's this specific player. Like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck do I... Like, he doesn't even have a 10 there, right? I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I win. King 5. Jesus. That's kind of funny.
I love you, Josh.
What the fuck? I love you too, Courtney. The fuck are you doing?
I'm smoking and thinking about you.
Okay. You may be getting too high at this point.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I feel better.
Hey. Fucking battery's low. Oh, that's funny. It is such an easy trap.
hard plastic? Sergeant. Can you move?
What the fuck is that?
I appreciate it.
It's just so stupid.
Sorry.
It's a good call with the queen. But the flush would have worked. So I need diamond, ace, or jack, and I win. But I am going to play a king the same way, but... And good queens. You know, queen, jack are better. But his bet's not awful. What the fuck is this? This guy's going to bet 90% of the time. When he doesn't, I imagine he's got it. Just jam. God. Ace, king, 9, 7. What the fuck? The 7's good. That's hilarious. I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing. He's just kind of hanging around. Really? Okay. I mean, this is scary for him. The problem is he can have jacks here sometimes. I think I feel better about it if he bets. If he checks, I should lose. Wow, he didn't go for that bluff? That's crazy. I mean, good instinct. I was calling, but... What did you say here?
The dealers should step in if the player's hiding chips. They have no stake in the game, so they are therefore impartial. That's actually not true. The dealers are never impartial. They're on the side of game control. So dealers don't make decisions. Floor men make decisions. So if you see a dealer fucking sitting there trying to resolve something, just immediately yell floor, because them making a decision in game of how to do something. Now, hiding a player's chips, that's game protection. That's not about them liking a player or, you know, being impartial and keeping the spirit of the game up. That's literal game protection, because players can dispute it. I had a player do it to me, where a player couldn't see another player's chips and he went all in, and I mean, it was the kind of thing where the guy had chips behind, but it was a bigger stake game, and it's never the situation where you think a situation like this would come up, because it just shouldn't. All right, well, this player can have all pairs, but whatever. Cool, hold. Nice, right on the flop. Fuck out of here. Don't come to the table with $13. We're just going to bet here. You can have a lot of fours we can get value from. I'm supposed to have a lot of kings. Yeah, he's just going to fold when the king comes off, but it's whatever. But so, like, anyway, I was in this game and, you know, dealing this game, and it was like a 50-100, and, you know, it was like raise, re-raise, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Player says all in. The other guy goes, how much is it? And I go to turn my head and count the chips, and he goes, no, that's fine. And I go, all right, well, it's all into you. And I'm not supposed to tell him how much it is unless I'm asked. That's true, but he stopped me in the process of finding out, because I think he didn't want to insult the guy, because the guy was kind of the whale. So he didn't want to, like, have me mess with the guy's chips, and the guy was kind of gruff. So he ends up calling, and the whale had aces and he had kings, and it was just one of those things where it was just like whatever. And he should want these situations, because the guy's going to stay until he's just broke times 10, you know. I mean, so, and he's the action. But then when we went to count it down, he happened to have the other player who didn't know how many chips it was. He happened to have him covered, and it looked like he had 2,000 less from his vantage point. So we call the floor, because he's ranting and raving, and he's like, I asked you how much it was. And immediately everybody at the table was like, yeah, but you stopped him from counting. You said it was fine. And this was when the Venetian was new, and I was dealing this game because I was the guy who could deal these games. And the floor asked me what happened. I told him exactly what happened. And he said, he didn't ask me what I thought. He just said, well, in this instance, sir, you know, you did stop the dealer, you know, from counting, so it's your responsibility to know how many chips you're playing for, unless that you ask the dealer to intervene. And he kept yelling, I did ask him to intervene, but he stopped. And he was like, you stopped him. And it's one of those Air Bud rules where it's like, you know, technically the rule is, once a player asks, any player at the table can ask any player's stack amount, and once they do, it is the responsibility of the dealer to get that information. That's true. There is no second line of the rule that says, unless the original player who asked says, no, it's okay, fine, don't worry about it, I got it, it's cool, then you can stop. No, technically he was right. Once he asked, even if he tries to stop me, I'm still supposed to count down the stack. And I learned that rule that day. So the guy made such a stink, and it was over like $2,000, and these guys are playing like, you know, most of them are playing like 30 grand deep.